Escarcelle was an urban project developed between 2010 and 2013, and the goals of Escarcelle was to identify prevalence of tooth wear, abrasion, erosion, and to define prevalence of hypersensitivity in the context where we have no information or no very performant information. So, at the end of the process, the main outcomes was to have an exact ID of the prevalence of tooth wear and hypersensitivity. And what we can say is prevalence is high, especially for erosion and abrasion. About 2%, two young people, adults in Europe have tooth wear. And concerning hypersensitivity, it's about 40%. What we observe in the context where at the beginning of the study we identify 8 countries with different profiles of health systems, of behavior, of economic systems. What we can observe at the end of the results that there is small difference between these countries. Of course, in terms of results of abrasion, erosion, hypersensitivity. Why? Because the risk factors are not the same one. And globally, what we can say is that the majority of people suffer from hypersensitivity, have clinical problems concerning tooth wear at different levels in terms of severity, but globally we can say there is no country in Europe where we have no problems of hypersensitivity and or erosion and or abrasion. Why do we include young adults in the project? In fact, there is a technical consideration. It's true that it should be more interesting to introduce in adolescents in this study, because once again, tooth wear is in relation with habits, eating habits, behavior concerning the health system and so on. So we can imagine that young adults and adolescents will be very impacted by these factors. So, but at urban level, there is a technical problem to identify this adolescent. It's why the scientific committee recommends to identify young adults 18 from 45%. And why 18 to 45%? Because we can consider that these young adults in the last 20 years start to have behavior, modification of the behavior in terms of consumption of acid foods, Coca-Cola, isotonics, and so on. So it's a first cohort, we can say, who change his and her habits concerning these risk factors. There is a technical solution. Via the dentist, via the dental hygienist, in order to take in charge this problem. We can imagine the dentist has a capacity to produce a curation, to care these kind of problems, but it is a care. Most important is to think in terms of prevention. So prevention means to think in terms of identification of risk factors and to have the capacity to notify risk factors. So it's right to the question, is there a solution to the problem of erosion? Yes. We need to communicate to the profession, to the student, to the oral care staff, and to the population, the prevalence of this tooth wear and the impact that this prevalence can have in the daily habits. But it's true that we have to identify risk factors and we have to have an action on these risk factors. For example, modify the habits of consumption, modify the habits of toothbrushing, identify, for example, people having rock, it's gastroesophageal. I don't know what's the term in English. We say rock, but it's rock. Reflux. Reflux.
Reflux. Heartburn.
And what is very interesting, it's we have to work in strong collaboration with the medical staff, because there is minor, it's not minor in terms of impact, but there is a behavior that the dentist can change, or hygienist can change. For example, habits in terms of brushing, snuffing, and so on. But it's true that people with reflux, people anorexics, and so on, we need to discuss and to have strong collaboration with the medical staff in order to change these risk factors. So, to conclude, there is two solutions. Take in charge, of course, take in charge. But once again, it is the finality, the outcome, but it is not really the most interesting approach in terms of public health. The most interesting is to identify what is before in order to change the behavior of people and of adolescents and young adults.